Hey guys, hope you're doing well. This is Jason from Dream Canada, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you how you can find a part time job in Canada if you're a student who's just enrolled in a study program, or even if you're a newcomer on your PR and you're finding it difficult to get a full time position in the initial months after you arrive. Now, most of these jobs don't require any previous work experience, so even freshers can get these jobs without any problem. I'll also be telling you where you can apply for these positions, what pay you can expect, and a few tips and tricks to get these part time jobs easily. So, do watch the video till the end. Hey guys, this is Jason from Dream Canada. If you're new to the channel, I show people how to save their money and immigrate to Canada through my videos without the help of any immigration consultants or agents or lawyers. You can find all the process instructions for you to apply on your own through this channel. Subscribe now because all the information provided here is completely free and I answer all your queries in the comment section and on my social handles on Instagram and Twitter. Part-time jobs are generally easier to get in Canada and most of them can be simple walk-in positions where you won't need any special technical skills or certifications. The best thing is that there's no job discrimination in Canada for whatever position you're working as. Nobody in Canada will judge you for the kind of work you're doing. Even if you're a waiter, a cab driver, a cashier, a valet, a delivery driver, cleaner, or any such positions that you think would be frowned upon. Most of the part-time workers in Canada are sailing in the same boat as you. Either they're completing their study course and working part-time to earn some pocket money and clear their student loans, or they are PR holders who have just arrived in Canada and maybe they're finding it difficult to find a full-time position in a job profile that they want. So they take up part-time jobs just to meet their daily expenses so they don't have to dip in too much into their proof of funds amounts or savings. So you should definitely not feel conscious or embarrassed to take up these part-time positions. Now let's come to the types of part-time jobs available in Canada. The most basic part-time job positions that most people go for are either in restaurants or in retail. There are a lot of vacant positions all year round for big fast food chains like McDonald's, Popeyes, Wendy's, and also in a lot of cafes like Starbucks or Tim Hortons. Retail chains like Walmart, No Frills, Dollarama, Shoppers Drug Mart, Best Buy, and even the ones in malls like Zara, H&M, etc. have a lot of vacancies all year round. Now these are the basic minimum wage jobs that you can get just by walking in and with a short interview process. You don't need to be computer savvy and you won't need any special technical skills or certifications for all these positions. You just need to give them your availability, to know your shifts, since these are part-time positions, your CV, and a short interview which is even done informally for a lot of these establishments. If they like you as a candidate, then you're selected and you'll be asked to join almost immediately for most of these jobs. Most of these job positions would pay you a minimum wage, which for your reference is $14.25 per hour in Toronto right now. Apart from these, you can also take up positions which offer you better job security, for which you can choose to complete a certification course called SmartServe, which can also be completed online. This is generally for restaurant servers and bartenders and all those who engage in the sale, service and consumption of alcohol. Although bartenders or waiters are paid a minimum wage as well, they do get a lot of tips, so that's one way you can earn quite a lot of money actually. Since the tipping culture in Canada is pretty good, everyone generally pays a minimum 15% tip or an amount equal to the tax on their bill as a tip. If you're a person who doesn't like to work under someone, then you can always work for food delivery services or apps like Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, DoorDash, etc. The wages that you can earn differ for each food chain, as some offer a minimum wage whereas some offer you a payment based on the number of deliveries you complete. However, the tips are fair for these delivery jobs as well. And the best part about these food delivery apps is that you don't really need a vehicle for it. You can even choose to walk or cycle to deliver your food parcels. During winters, it'll be more comfortable doing deliveries in a car, but that doesn't mean that people don't walk or cycle to complete their food deliveries in winters. It all comes down to your personal preference and budget. Do note though that if you choose to do your deliveries by car, then you'll have to have a Canadian driving license and your own car along with some money set aside for fuel for your deliveries. You can also opt for cargo delivery jobs like flower deliveries, package deliveries or any other delivery job. The pay is generally better for delivery drivers at around $22 per hour and even higher for long-haul truck drivers. Since Canada has such a large road network and there's a lot of demand for delivery drivers all year round, some truck drivers start at around $36,000 per year and go as high as even $50,000 to $60,000 per year. You'll also end up earning more money if you have your own truck for delivery jobs. Remember though that you'll need different licenses depending on the size of your truck and the weight and type of cargo that you'll be carrying. Other than these positions, warehouse workers are in strong demand in Canada. These jobs are more physically demanding and you'll have to do a lot of heavy lifting most of the time and be on your feet for most of your shifts, but the pay is good at around $16 per hour. Amazon warehouses generally have good vacancies and they offer good pay as well. If you get your forklift license, you'll be even more handy in warehouses and you'll be paid much better at around $18 per hour. You also won't have to do much heavy lifting like a warehouse worker normally does. So these are the part-time jobs that you can easily get after coming to Canada, but since you won't be having any certifications as such when you arrive, I would suggest starting with the initial positions which I listed and then work on your certifications side by side so that you can get a higher paying job after completing your certifications. Now let's talk about how you can actually apply for these jobs. I would suggest applying both online and offline. Every store or employer has a different hiring policy. A few employers give more preference to walk-in candidates and a few employers follow an online protocol. So it'll be beneficial for you to cover both walk-ins and online applications to increase your odds of getting an interview. Don't be too picky on the first job. Take whatever job you get first and focus on building your Canadian experience. I'll now let you know about a few places, particularly in Toronto, where there are always jobs available, they're always hiring, and you can get a job there easily. The first and most important place is McDonald's. McDonald's doesn't normally reject candidates and everyone usually gets a job at McDonald's as they're always hiring. You get a good number of working hours as well, so McDonald's is one of the places that you can consider. Walmart is another place where there's always need for staff because they operate on a very large scale. Any retail position at a mall or a supermarket near you would most definitely be hiring. They're always low on staff either on the sales end or warehouses or cashiers. Having said that, although part-time jobs are usually really easy to get and you can expect to be hired really soon, it won't be like you just land and you receive a job offer in your hand the next day. There are times where you'll have to wait as much as 15 days to a few months to hear back where you've given your interview. It'll totally depend on the employer's current requirements and how well you ace the interview. Your timing over here also matters a lot, and you might find it harder during the peak college admission months when there are new enrollments in colleges or universities around, as those new students will also be competing with you to get part-time jobs to support themselves while studying in Canada. But don't lose hope, there's still a lot of vacancies for you. Canada is huge. An important tip I can give you here is while you're making your CV, do remember to highlight your skills and previous work experience. That's definitely important. But do make a note of your availability as well based on your college or university timings or other commitments. Truth be told, for part-time jobs, more importance is given to your availability while applying for jobs. Basically, all the employers want to make sure that candidates fit in with their already established schedules. So you'll see that a lot of the times, even if someone is more qualified, someone else will be hired if their availability fits the schedule of the retail stores or any other part-time job. This would basically mean on which days you'll be able to work and what particular hours in the day that you'll be available to work. They'll also give you preference if your living accommodation or hostel is close by because there would be lesser chances for you being late for work. If they see that your availability fits their schedule or if they see that you have a lot of free time in the day, then employers will actually give you more preference most of the times, even if your experience or qualifications are lesser compared to another candidate. Now we come to the very important topic of how much you'll be paid depending on the category of job that you're hired for. As a cashier or a retail store helper or any other similar part-time job, you'll be getting the minimum wage of $14.25 per hour, and no one will pay you lesser than this amount. It's set by the Government of Canada, and it's an offense to pay someone anything below the minimum wage that's set by the government. The big question that many people ask is, can you actually survive on that minimum wage of $14 per hour? Now this is totally subjective and it'll depend on your individual living preferences, but let's take some ballpark figures. For example, if your rent is between $400 for a shared accommodation and around $700 for a private room, utilities like hydro, Wi-Fi, etc. have to be paid separately, so let's say around $150 for that. Your cell phone plan would be between at least $50 to $60. Your TTC pass for transportation would be between $128 to $156 per month depending on your age. Groceries, daily use items and toiletries would be between $100 and $150, keeping aside $100 to $150 for miscellaneous expenses like Netflix and other streaming subscriptions, cab rides, takeaways or random shopping. Taking all these expenses into account, you'll be spending somewhere close to $1,000 every month. Now if you get a minimum wage which is $14 per hour for 20 hours a week, which is the maximum hours allowed to a student, You'll earn around roughly $1,100 per month, which would mean that you would break even and you won't have to dip into your GIC amounts or proof of funds as much. But keep in mind that this figure is for ideal situations wherein you'll get full 20 working hours in a week and you'll be able to show up for the job on all days. But what you'll have to remember is that you'll also have to pay taxes as well depending on your residency status and earnings. Also, employers are more in need of candidates during summers or fall, and ideal working conditions where people usually step out and businesses are booming to their full potential. This is because people move out, they like the weather, they like to go shopping or eating out, they want to visit places when the weather conditions are ideal. But as soon as winter hits just after Christmas or New Year, when it starts to get really cold, people rarely step out of their houses because weather conditions aren't good, it gets dark sooner in the day, and they just want to chill comfortably in the warmth of their home. This is when businesses like restaurants, cafes, and retail outlets don't do as well, and employers will reduce your working hours because there won't be any people to serve or to help out, and this will ultimately affect your pay at the end of the month. You'll also have to take into consideration the times that you're sick and you won't be able to actually make it to work. So be prepared for reduced working hours during winters or for any other reasons, and don't rely completely on your salary for your monthly expenses. You'll have to dip into your GIC or proof of funds amount a little bit during these times. But do remember to try and keep this as the last resort and just treat your GIC or proof of funds as your safety net. So guys, that was all the information on part-time jobs in Canada. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, do hit the like button and do remember to subscribe for regular updates on Canadian immigration. I wish you guys the best of luck for your application and hope you guys have a great day.